Wait a minute. So this is a perfect example of how coquina is created. You see this red gooey stuff? It's not even like it's soft and gooey. It's actually rock hard to the touch, but it grows its own little goblets, I call it. You know, its own little tidal pools. I'm not sure how it eats. There's no information on this stuff. But it makes its own little tidal pools. As time goes by, how does coquina get its holes? People ask. You can sit right here and watch it when the tide comes up a little bit, and that rock will start to move. That rock will start to move inside that hole. There's another one inside here. It's a super cool one right there. You can see these things move in the what you call it. And dink, 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 and it'll start to carve a hole through this over time. Between that and the currents in the sand. And that's how the holes are made in coquina. Other pieces of coquina get stuck inside the holes with the tide going over it and dink, 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 dink. Dink, 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 over hundreds of years. However long it might take. There it is, living coquina inside that hole there. For lack of words. And red goo. Some more of it down there. Little by little it builds and stuff. And it only grows, I would reckon, where the waves break. If you find this stuff underground under your house, once upon a time it was the beach. Awesome. See that little goblet it made right there? How the water's stuck in it. And it ultimately grows around the rocks and the sand and stuff that gets stuck in there. This thing is super cool. Super cool formation. Hit the wrong button, but super cool formations of this gooey red stuff. Which I call, for lack of words, living coquina. Another good example of a living coquina. What's going on inside that puddle? How come it forms puddles? How come it forms its own little tidal pool? The scientific community out there has to do with, this would be marine biology. Maybe you can give me some answers what the stuff actually is. I've been here all my life. I would love to know. Oh, I see that, Jace. Wow. Where am I? Beach Haven's right behind me. South of me, as far as you can see, is marine land. Right here is the landmark. There are those condominiums. South side of the Hammock Dunes. And this coquina formation goes on like for a mile, it looks like, at least. Way out that way as well. So once upon a time, or right here, right now, this stuff's growing. I don't know how many generations of this is growing now. You know, this could have been growing and covered up, and then the sea could have got sucked way out, and then it could come all the way back, and the sea can go away there. So this coquina stuff's really out of this world. But that's life on this planet. You know, it's not 2 arms and an eye, eyes and a nose and all that good stuff. It's weird life. Stuff's out of this world. What you got, Jace? What you got? It's hard for me to walk through this shit being an old man and all. Wish I was your age again. What you got? You got any fish in that hole? There it is. Bottom of the hole, what do you see? Fucking rock, drilling it out.
Come here. Oh, I just saw it go.
Alright, walk with me. Check out this wicked landscape. Alright, I'm going back, honky. Layers of shit over time. Layers of sediment over time. A lot of these rocks have been overturned. They had bulldozers coming through here to make this dune. You know, sometimes you come here and all this is covered up with sand and you can't even tell it's here. The bulldozers ran it over, cracked it all up, but then it's loosened up just through time itself. And when these waves crash, sometimes the storms are wicked, man. You can imagine. One of the 5 elements, water. Hey. Old dude, man. I'm an old dude, man. It's hard to walk on this stuff sometimes. Yeah, I looked it up what forms Coquina Rock and it says calcium binds it together. Come on, man, what is that? That's something totally different and unworldly. What is that? You telling me that's just calcium forming rocks together? That's some kind of life. Watch how it works. Boom. See that? Traps creatures, traps rocks. Maybe it just absorbs the decaying coquina shells over time. Here's a microscope and some time, some money. Coquina Rock. We'll call it Margarelli Rock. And then we'll be calling it Margarelli Rock from Daytona. They're like, it's Daytona Rock. Just call it Crack Rock. Well, Crack Rock already has a name. Ding, ding, ding. Boom, boom, boom. Digga, 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 digga. How do rocks form in Coquina? Palm tree grew there. What about this weird looking hole here, though, huh? And yes, you can find the stuff in the mainland with a tree growing out of it because the sediment is soft in the middle and a tree might root somewhere inside of it. It will grow. So I do believe that old timers, they told me they found trees growing out of this shit, aren't lying. I'm telling you how the hole got there. Boom. A time lapse of this video, how wicked it might look. Layer upon layer. A little bit grow here, a little bit grow there. Maybe a whole layer of it will grow. Layer of this. Chip that off. Check it out. Analyze it. Ready to trip and fall and bust my freaking teeth out. Maple Low Road. Ew. This is Jace Anderson, this is Jace Anderson, everybody, by the way. This old man's a friend of mine, John Anderson. He's working with my crew right now because his stonemason business is slow. That's a whole different ball of wax there. See this one? This thing was formed out of way different stuff than this one was. Maybe it's younger, who knows? That's it, guys. You got all your stuff, though. What about your shoes? Knucklehead kid. Remember being a kid? Shit, wish I was a kid again. Alright, y'all, that's it. I'm out. PPPS, Jace Margarelli. When you were that age, I was always the guy climbing the tree. I was the guy out there working in the dangerous environments. Wood chippers going, stump grinders, shit falling, idiots driving around. Idiots swinging chainsaws. I could not bring you to the job with me. That's why I got this kid out here with me right now. Keep him away from the job. And I really, really, really regret missing that part of your life so I could provide a nice life for you. That's it. Real talk, homie. I'll get to spend good time with your kids. So, love you, boy. I'm out.